wherever you are, and welcome to another NerdTube Star Trek episode review and breakdown. This time we're talking about Starfleet Academy Season 1, Episodes 1 and 2. We are joined tonight by Cousin Cheeto, Lord Donkey, Zam, our resident insomniac, and our special guest, Jefferson Kelly, a.k.a. Preston Cisco. How
Hey,
is
everyone.
everyone tonight?
Really good.
Exhausted.
I bet you are, Sam. But yeah, doing pretty good. Can't complain. Well, I could, but nobody would listen.
That's what my grandpa always said.
That's a good one.
Excited to talk about some Star Trek with you guys.
Some
we're
SFA.
Yep,
SFA.
Is that what we're going with?
SFA.
How I abbreviated it in my notes.
Yeah,
Nice.
that I think that's it. SFA.
All right.
It's better than
official.
boy.
Boy.
Oof.
I
Boy.
hate that one.
All right. So we're talking about 2 episodes tonight, so we'll just get right into it. Let's do some overall impressions of these 2 episodes. We'll start with you, Cheeto. What did you?
Ooh, we're doing impressions. Hold on. I enjoyed these 2 episodes. I'm not going to say they blew me away. I'm not going to say that it was everything I wanted out of a Starfleet Academy show. I've been very adamant that I wanted Starfleet Academy to take place in either TOS era or TNG era. It being in the 32nd century, I will though say that it is far more interesting than I thought it was going to be, in my opinion. So I will give it. I will give it credit where credit is due. I do enjoy, some of that. That exploring more of that 32nd century that we've been kind of clamoring for. So that's what I'll say about these first 2 episodes generally.
Excellent. Zam, general impressions?
I Star Trek for me is never always, every show never starts that well, historically, as far as I'm concerned. They always tend to find their feet, and by season 3, they get an ideology of what they tend to be, and then it ends up being the show that we all end up loving. But what makes me really interested about this is these young actors who are playing cadets 10, 20, 30 years from now. Where will they be in Star Trek? In what sort of characters will they be playing? Will they be captains? Will they be commanders? There's so much that can come from this. This is almost like a new birth if it's done right. I mean, hopefully this series will flourish and we'll get several seasons and we'll see the arcs. I mean, you already the main lab with the fucking arms. What's his name? Cabell? What was it?
Caleb?
Caleb.
Caleb, yeah, Caleb.
Caleb Cavill, baby. He's Superman.
I mean, he was struggling to do push-ups. Yeah, he looks like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger. Regardless, I can already see this guy's arc from being rebellious young teen to being somebody who will command respect and probably treat things more seriously and behave himself and all that. You can see that arc already. You can see so many arcs for so many of these characters. It's going to be a fun ride, and obviously not everything will be concluded this season. This is just the tip of the iceberg, but let's just hope we get a lot from these characters for the next several decades.
Hey, we'll keep going clockwise. Lord Donkey.
A lot of potential. I think we went into watching it thinking, oh, this is just going to be Riverdale mixed with spacey, interaction. But it has a lot of just good Star Trek laid underneath. It's not all there yet. It feels they crammed a lot into these 2 episodes, which I feel like they always do with a new show. It's like I said earlier, drinking from a fire hose with all the stuff they're throwing at us, with all the new people we're meeting. They're setting all this stuff up. But I enjoyed it. there were a lot of callbacks. There were a lot of references. There was a lot of, oh, hey, he said the one thing. And, oh, hey, there's that person from the other show. Like, a lot of good moments like that. They just have to now pivot to not relying on references for entertainment. But all in all, I enjoyed it.
Excellent. And you, Jefferson?
So, Lord Donkey, I really agree with what you just said. I really, really hope that it doesn't become a reference show like Lower Decks did, because it started out great. Loved all the references. I thought it was great when Lower Decks started doing it, but then it eventually became what the show was about. It was about making references, and it just got old. So here's what I'll say about Starfleet Academy. I really, really liked it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. Now, I'm not saying it's the best Star Trek ever, but it's very good. And here's why I say that. Starfleet Academy was coming in hot with the full trifecta of fandom hate, which is what Star Trek, Star Wars, and Doctor Who have encountered. And the trifecta of hate is black people, females, and children. Now, children, these are young adults, but it's right on that cusp. So that's the trifecta there across fandom. As soon as they see a woman or a person of color, they already hate it. I've read nothing but bitching from people on Facebook like all week leading up to it. Well, it started with the first image. It's like I think the powers that be were trolling fans with one of the first pictures of Starfleet Academy being that of a obviously African American female. Even though she's Jem'Hadar Klingon hybrid, you could tell by the
she's not African American, mate. She's not American. That's why.
Well, right. I stand corrected. A person of color is what I'm getting at. Yeah. So it's like here we're already. Let's just get it out of the way. Then when you get to Star Trek, you add in Kurtzman and queer. Once you have those all laid out there, you get what we got, which was complaining leading up to this. But Starfleet Academy did a lot of small things really well, and I'll get into it more as we get into it. But there were a lot of little things that I think might have been maybe didn't see it or didn't notice it, but it's like that is a little thing that just makes stuff better or just really adds to it. One example I'll give you just for right now, when the doctor and the chancellor and her first officer were in the turbo lift with the little machine thing.
The exocomp.
Yeah, the exocomp.
Yeah.
And everyone kept kind of moving and moving. Did you notice the exocomp when it flew away was like, wow. But no, the exocomp.
I think they're called dots. Just for everybody out there, like we know what they are. They're called
dots. Droids, as far as I'm concerned.
It was just that annoying. It was that little annoyed wow that the thing gave as it flew off because everyone kept moving. So, and I've got more. So yeah,
Jefferson, you know what? There's another one added to that mix. It's not just black and women and all of that. It's also fat people now. They hate anyone who's fat.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of complaining about the body, I've seen complaining about the body, not complaining about the body shaming, but like the body shaming complaining, where they're like, I don't want to see these fat people on my TV or on my Star Trek. Like they're still
says
like
the fat person in their chair.
Right. Like, yeah, and I've seen tons of it, and I'm just like, what, in the 32nd century they don't have treadmills? I'm like, oh my god, like you guys are ridiculous.
Also, I saw another complaint as well about Holly Hunter's character wearing glasses. I'm thinking to myself, have you not seen Star Trek 2? Have you not seen David Cronenberg's
divine
character?
texts? You mean
Yeah,
the end all be all for
David
certain
Cronenberg's
things.
character wore glasses too, and he was from the 31st century. So, like, what the hell, man? I just nitpicking.
Well, I mean, in the 24th century, they also didn't have a cure for baldness. So it's like, what do
Yeah,
you what,
yeah.
Well,
what do you
Roddenberry
want?
famously said that by the 24th century, nobody would care.
Right. And so I want to talk about the two arguments there, the body shaming and the glasses. Um, part of me wants to say that it may not be completely out of bounds to think that if you're in Starfleet that you're in shape. Maybe unless you're an admiral that's put behind the desk, but I do see something of an argument that would say if you're in the armed services, even if it's exploration, uh, there's probably some kind of pattern of fitness. I'm just saying, like I get it. I understand the argument, kind of, but it's like that's just it's not something we can really fix.
Listen, Jefferson Hegseth. We don't want to see fat admirals anymore.
That's right. I don't want to see any fat admirals or
No, all we want to see is Dadmiral.
Also, actually,
yeah.
I want to quickly mention
romance.
something as well. Like Ginger brought up something that's made me realize something regarding the show. I generally get triggered by the tech in the Trek, so effing myopic. But when we got to see Discovery go into the first century, like things like having these tablets and shit were like just done for. They got holographic displays everywhere. So to see them having tablets
Yeah.
in the again, it was like, well, this feels so dated. Like it's gonna look like why they got tablets? Everything should be a fucking holographic display in front of their face.
It was
You know what I
mostly
mean?
the
Like
cadets that
they
had
should
the
be having
tablets, right?
tablets at all. Sorry.
Because they didn't have the comm badges either. They had to walk. They had to run to their rooms when the ship was under attack, and they don't get to have the holographic comm badge. So they had the pads.
Yeah.
Or it's just like teachers that are just like you will use
Well,
books, no
because-
tablets, no Chromebooks. You will use paper textbooks. There are teachers out there like that who will not use like online stuff.
Ginger, if they
Genesis
don't have fat and bald people in Star Trek, then a lot of Americans won't get any work.
That starts eugenics.
Yeah.
Isn't this year the start of World War? Wait, never mind.
No,
that's
World
much
War
worse.
is like 2040
World War
something.
III.
I think World War III started in 2040 something.
Hmm.
Now I got to look it up. Anyway, all right.
It changes all the time.
Yeah, it does change all the time.
Depends on
wanna
which
read
universe you're in.
All right, Mage.
Do we want to read some comments before we
Yeah, they can see them on the screen.
They
We'll
see
bring them up as
screen?
we see fit.
fair?
Only the top comments.
Only the top comments and paid subscribers get the top comments. Open
Fair
your
enough.
credit cards, everybody.
Surrender your dollars onto the mighty NerdTube.
How were the first two episodes? Well, you're gonna find out, my son.
Yep, we're going to start with a breakdown right now with season 1, episode 1, Kids These Days, where we it gets us established with the setting, which is post-burn. We get a small child and a mother in the cell. The mother gets sent to a penal colony in this opening scene, and the pirate who was
Look like Rebel
her
Moon.
accomplice in murder. I've not seen that. So
Yeah,
this
I haven't
is-
seen
bro,
it.
you've done yourself a favor, mate. And Tatiana Maslany, is that how you say her surname?
Yeah,
And
Maslany.
that's it. You can tell the She-Hulk is over if she's in this shit. So anyway.
No, the pirate who was her accomplice in murder of a Starfleet officer gets life in prison. We get this he goes off. There's some jail violence. It's just off.
What?
We get
Oh, sorry. What bugged me about that scene is like they take the mother away. They leave the kid in the room with the crazy pirate Paul Giamatti. And why? but it was
Just to traumatize the kid, I guess,
yes.
Yeah.
which they clearly did. So we cut to our first main character, Nala, who is a Starfleet officer. She's in charge there. She's part Lanthanite, and she's acting as the prosecution.
Part Lanthanite. That's why she
Part
doesn't sound like
Lanthanite.
she smokes 60 a day. Okay.
But is still long-lived.
I wonder if there's any males of that species.
I didn't catch
because
that in the beginning.
yeah, she's
Yep.
that she's Lanthanite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's mentioned she's been
I
around
figured it
for
out later.
300, 500 years, something like that. So she's not
400 and
as
something,
old
400
yeah.
plus.
She's not as old as Hocus
Hell yeah.
Pocus, as Zam calls her from Strange New World.
I miss Hocus Pocus.
I wonder if she's going to be in the show, like just show up, because how long do they live?
Well, but the problem is that Pelia from
Yeah.
Strange New World,
Yeah, Pelia, yeah.
she's already
900.
several hundred. Like I was about to say, pushing 1,000, and you add another 1,000 to that. I know they haven't quite established how long a Lanthanite can live, but I'm not all for that, especially not that character, because I hate the way she talks as that character. Why she chose that route, it just annoys me, so I don't want to listen to it.
I think that's her actual voice.
She
I
was,
got you.
by the way, Jefferson, you ever seen the film Scrooge?
Yes.
She was the ghost of Christmas Present.
Yeah. She was also the old dude's wife in The Princess Bride.
Yeah.
Billy's
wife.
Billy
the
Crystal.
landlord and Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's almost like she's been around for a while.
And she was Pelia the whole time in all of those characters.
Oh, that's funny.
She was exploring her acting career back then. Now,
I can't believe I didn't. So you're talking about Paul Giamatti and Holly Hunter. For a Star Trek show to come in with so much heat already, I think that they really did well by getting some decent named actors in it. Paul Giamatti is great. I can watch anything he's in. Holly Hunter, I don't mind. She's okay, but that gives you a couple people that helps offset a little bit of the trifecta of fandom hate, and then the Star Trek edition of body shamings and LGBTQ plus, and what was the other one? Kurtzman. Okay, so yeah,
Kletsman, as what's his face calls him.
I got no problem with the guy.
We did a whole podcast in seeing if we should or shouldn't blame him for everything, and it was pretty across the board. Can't blame one person. That was the consensus we came to here.
Well, yeah. For me, sometimes you can only be as good as your last stuff, and prior to this, his last thing was Section 31, and as far as I was concerned, get the noose out after that shit. He was done.
Strange New World Season 3 also, but that didn't do him any favors either.
Yeah. Good point. But oh god, Section 31 was like a Star Trek killer almost. Wait,
let's not besmirch this review by bringing up Section 31. I blame Kurtzman for. Oh, that doesn't say Kurtzman.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah,
I was
reread that
surprised
one.
he directed. I didn't know he had the ability to be a director.
Yeah, he did
I
direct.
just thought he was a
He did
producer.
direct the first episode I
Yeah.
saw. I was going to bring that up.
Oh, I did not notice that.
Regarding Paul Giamatti, I'm not sure how I feel about him being some sort of aggressive bad guy. I've seen him do it a few times. There was that one movie with Clive Owen.
Shoot him up.
Yeah, and obviously he played the Rhino.
I was about to say he's the best Rhino I've seen the best Rhino I've ever seen in a live action Spider-Man.
It's not a big competition, is it?
I loved him in Billions. I thought he was fantastic in that. But I'm not sure how I feel about him in this. But hopefully he'll grow on me a little bit. He seems
I think it works because he's so chaotic.
I just
he's
just
hamming
with
it
the
up a little bit.
finger
he
tips.
just seems like that like weird Elon Musk bad guy. You know what I mean? Just like he's slimy, and it's just like, you know, it's almost like, you know, Eric Bana and at the beginning of like Trek 2009, where he's like, "Hello, Christopher, I'm Nero." You know, like it's just like, you know, I'm just waiting for the hi Cat, hi Bruce.
But I thought that was great.
No,
I
that
don't-
was great, but it's just I was
Hello,
waiting in this
Christopher, I'm
episode for the
Nero.
other foot to drop, and he just
Right.
was kind of a goofball throughout the whole thing.
Well, so the thing is though, is that coming into this, there was some precedent set. Like Zam and I said, the guy in Shoot 'Em Up, he was in Shoot 'Em Up, played a bad guy there, and he was the dickhead producer in the Howard Stern movie Private Parts. He was
Oh my god, I don't even remember that.
yeah, he was this
That was
douchebag.
the thing.
He was this douchebag in oh my god, this movie with the kid from Malcolm in the Middle. I'm losing it, but it was Liar Liar. No, that was a Jim Carrey movie, but
That's Jim Carrey, yeah.
I'll think of it. But Paul Giamatti has played enough of a range of characters that I wasn't skeptical walking into this one. You know, it's not like when Jeff Daniels got cast in Dumb and Dumber. He'd always done serious-ish stuff up to that point, and then suddenly, what? You know, so yeah, Paul Giamatti had already.
Jeff Daniels didn't work for you, by the way. I liked him in Dumb and Dumber personally. I thought he was great.
Yeah, no, I thought he was great in that. It's just that before that, okay, better example would be Michael Keaton in Batman.
Yeah.
You know, no one saw
People
it.
were not happy about that.
But I'm right, not happy. But the Paul Giamatti thing, that didn't have the effect on me, him being in Star Trek, as Michael Keaton being announced as Bruce Wayne did for Batman, because Paul Giamatti has already played those kinds of parts. So it wasn't a stretch. I didn't see that as a stretch.
I was very open-minded as to what he was going to be. You know what I mean? Like some comedic actors like can do some of the best villainy work. You know, Zam's always said that some of the best like actors and villains are like the comedians.
Oh yeah,
they can work really
stand-up comedians, to be more precise.
Yeah,
I think stand-up comedians are great actors.
I don't. Did Paul Giamatti? Did he? I think didn't he do stand-up? Like I thought he did. No. Okay. I might be wrong on that one, but you know, like I could definitely see it going well. I was waiting for that other foot to drop in that episode in the first episode where Paul Giamatti becomes like a real like he kind of pumps the brakes on the goofball and he gets serious.
He did a very good balance so far, I thought. I mean, only him could pull off a line. What in the deviled egg hell is going on here? That was a great line. I love that line. But yeah.
You could just tell from this episode, the first episode, that he's just playing pure villainy. Like he likes being horrible. He gets off on it. He's a bad person. There doesn't seem to be anything about him so far that has any sort of redeeming qualities. You know, he's an arsehole.
I just find it, and I mean, even Holly Hunter in this episode, you know, she's like, I don't believe in coincidences, and it's like a lot of things happen very coincidental in this episode. Just speaking of Paul Giamatti, like we're like they're on their maiden voyage, pretty much heading to San Francisco, and he just happens to be in the neighborhood and intercepts that transmission through that. You know what I mean? Like that was very like. Oh wow, this is all happening this episode. Okay, I mean, I was just kind of like,
right
wow.
Away.
Cheetah, I need to ask you, like, how did you feel about the? So we're going to San Francisco. You love all these fucking songs, don't you? All these non-orchestral songs in your Star Trek, like that long road shit.
I love that.
So I thought, how did you feel about San Francisco?
I didn't really care for it, really, but I guess I haven't heard it a million times at the beginning of every episode.
Come on, man!
It's been a long road.
Can you not have a little fun?
Hey, I mean, listen, if they play that song,
Star Trek must be serious.
Right, exactly.
If they put that
Jesus.
song at the beginning of every single episode of Starfleet Academy, I will probably learn to love it.
Well,
generally, how do you guys feel about the orchestral song for Starfleet? But I think we only really heard it properly in the second episode.
Yeah,
With
the
Buddy
second
Clark
I
episode,
skipped
throwing
the
it.
intro
episode
was
to catch up a little bit of time. So
I was tempted. I
Skip
wanted to
the
listen
intro.
to it once. Like I did listen
Next
to it
time.
once, but I
Yeah, I
was
listened
really
to it.
tempted to skip it. It really didn't blow me away. So yeah, San Francisco, just put that at the beginning of the show. Just give us our next
Or-
Star Trek Enterprise intro.
or the Doctor doing opera with the other person up on there.
with that
Oh,
diva.
that was
Yeah,
cringe.
Big Fat Liar.
That was
That
good.
was the other Paul Giamatti movie I was trying to talk about earlier.
Mm.
Here, you know what really bothered the hell out of me with the Athena and the whole being in the Badlands thing? We still don't have point defense systems on Starfleet ships. Come on. You have got to be kidding me. At some point, somebody has to be like, let's line some turrets around this bitch in case,
I thought
kinetic
they did.
weapons are coming in.
I thought they did talk about turrets, didn't they? They did say something about turrets. They said our turrets or something, or
Turrets are so last century, man. Or so
No,
last
happened to
millennium.
I'm not buying it because they had time to fire before things went down. That should have been the first thing they were shooting off. The Kelvin did it in the beginning of Star Trek. The first and probably only time that I recall. But really, it's like, okay, I don't get it. We're in the 31st century. Starfleet should have had already this kind of defense system on its ships. Inexcusable. And the whole, we're the only ship in range. Everyone else is too far away.
At least they
Well,
can
they had
separate from
to
themselves.
pull a card from the bag of tropes,
I mean,
Yeah,
look, all I heard is that the Athena was the Trump class and it didn't need turrets because it was huge and the bestest ever designed. It
Okay,
can
but-
take anything. The Trump class starship,
You got to do like this.
like this. Yes. Sorry, my hand.
Wow.
I'm
For
in
real,
such a
though.
small
What a
space here.
starship. The biggest starship. I said, wow, what a big starship.
I mean, nobody's gonna fire at it because it's just the best.
It's a gorgeous ship, though. The
I don't
wings,
know.
I loved it.
I am not a fan of the 32nd century ships. I
But okay, I agree
look too
with some of the
digital. They
32nd
look-
century ships that we saw in Discovery. The like weirdly nacelles are way back here, and it's just a saucer. This I liked.
Don't you think it looks
But
too
the
much like a
wings,
cartoon?
I
It
like-
looks way too much like a. Doesn't look real enough. It looks too digital.
Well, it's also a school.
Very-
It's not just
It's
a
very
regular
flat,
ship.
very 2D.
well, but they have the
Well,
technology to do the what is it? What is the technology called? Where like the space on the inside is bigger than the outside.
Oh,
TARDIS.
dimensionally transcendental.
Yeah, I know Doctor Who. I know Doctor Who people would know it, but I mean, they have that technology because the ships that like came back in Enterprise were from the 27th century, I think.
Well, they
So-
had it in season 1 of Picard. His storage crate had a quantum storage thing where it's like
No,
the
we don't
box
talk
might
about
look
Picard
like
season one.
this, but you can pack
Hey.
like a whole room full of stuff in it.
this
Oh.
side topic. That's a perfect place where we can start a crossover between Who and Trek.
I just want to quickly mention, but Daniel Vaughn just reminded me of something that slipped my mind. Is that they're doing the whole mother thing again? Trying to find your mum, which is what they did with Michael Burnham, in Discovery, and now they're doing it again with Caleb. Not very original, in my opinion.
I'm not feeling that whole thing, like the whole
not
Caleb
at
and his
all.
mom and all, like that just feels so forced. It's not like they I'm the troubled badass with the mommy issues, and like I'm sorry, like I don't think, like, I get you have to create drama, but I feel like this is just like, in the whole like, oh, their mom was separated, then Paul Giovanni's character basically.
Would you have accepted a straight-laced kid from a wealthy family that went into Starfleet? Privileged?
Yeah. Have you played the Starfleet
I'm
Academy
not-
game?
Well,
there was
yeah, I have, but
That game was what I
But
want.
we need drama. You're right.
No, hold on. We already got that
And
kid. It's
it's-
Caleb's roommate. He's that
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Caleb himself, like what they've done with him, it's like, look, I haven't got the answers for it because I'm not writing the show, but I've already seen this. Like they're doing this again, and so for me, like, come on, show a
It
little
was
bit more
a bit of-
originality.
There was a bit of commentary though about the U.S. separating
Mhm.
children from their parents.
Well, that's Trek in general.
I know. Well, yeah, there was some good
Like
commentary.
they're like the Jedi.
in there. Yeah.
You got a kid? Let's take it.
No.
Mage,
No, good point.
so-
Good point, Donkey. I agree with you. They were definitely trying to do some social
And there's a good-
commentary.
Another good social commentary in the episode 2, but we can talk about that later.
When did Star Trek get so woke?
Well, they did bring the blackface, whiteface.
I saw
back.
them.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was at the end of episode 1, wasn't it? And I know it was in episode 2 also.
A whole generation of people that completely missed the point of that race of characters.
Right.
Yeah. Well, but here's the
Mhm.
thing: is like, I mean, that race was supposed to become extinct because they were the last two, and they were now. I mean, you could probably do some genetic manipulation and bring the race back, but at the same time,
The last two, that was in the Prime universe. We're in the First Contact universe. So different.
Yeah, I was
Go
about to
watch
say
my
something
film.
like that.
Go watch my film. I explained the whole thing.
did
Time
you?
and again, episode 1.
Oh,
Aftermath.
okay.
Laid out the whole thing. Yes.
I
And
didn't see
it doesn't shit on other Star Trek. It's because the method of incursion the Borg sphere used to time travel was too severe for the universe to hold. So they were placed into another one, bringing with it a template of their universe, and it created the First Contact universe.
Well,
with
we've
its own
talked about the
past
First Contact.
and its own future.
We've talked about the
So-
First Contact timeline for
Yeah, I
years
know that.
on this channel. So
Yeah, I know that. So Discovery, Enterprise, Discovery, Strange New Worlds, and Starfleet Academy are in the First Contact universe.
are they? Or I mean,
Yes.
once Discovery went into the future, did it kind of like
No,
become
they
the
were
prime timeline?
Discovery was already there because in Strange New Worlds, I want to say it was season 2. It was when Khan and Kirk.
Yeah, went to that alternate universe, and
Yeah, it was established then in that episode that they were not the universe they were in Toronto, but Strange New Worlds was set as this is an altered timeline. And once Strange New Worlds did that, it meant that behind it was Discovery, because it's Discovery from season 2 onward. So there's a big argument that can be said that the Borg sphere incursion caused a rip, caused another universe. So Picard's mission the whole time, all the events of First Contact, not seen or known in the Prime universe.
Prime
It's
universe.
like
Okay.
you left, it came right back. We see no indication of anything you're talking about in the timeline. So it was all alternate.
You ever went with the theory of it being a paradox where the future has to go back in the past in order for that future to be created, like they did with the first Terminator movie, if you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Carl Reese had to go back in time in order for John Connor to be born. Well, maybe the Enterprise had to go back in time in order for Starfleet to be created. I mean, the paradox.
I don't believe that, but
Bootstrap paradox, yeah.
I think no, I believe in the First Contact timeline. I think Enterprise, Discovery, Strange New Worlds. I think all those are part of the First Contact timeline. I just question like if seasons 3, 4, and 5 of Discovery announced if that's technically prime timeline, because we've never
Or if they
been there.
merge back together at some point.
Either merge back together or just like it doesn't matter. We're way off topic now.
Damn it, Cheeto.
Anyway, Mage,
Where
any
were
more
we,
notes on
Mage?
episode 1?
We're at the beginning
Yeah.
of episode 1 still.
I
Yeah.
think you might have to. Can you just jump ahead a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
do you
yeah.
have any like
Wait,
additional things
let-
we haven't talked about?
Not. I was just going to talk about the different characters mainly. I was going to do that more than do a blow by blow of it this time. But we've talked about Nusbraka a lot, the pirate played by Paul Giamatti. We've talked a little bit about Caleb.
The pacifist Klingon.
We could
How
talk
about that?
about Crag. I like him.
I like him. I'm not gonna lie. I've always been interested ever since that Enterprise episode with the augments. I've always been interested in the Klingon healers, and and I do love the conversations between Crag and what's the Jem'Hadar Klingon what is it, the cadet master's name? What is her name?
Oh,
She was great.
Lura.
Laura. Like I love the interaction because I almost forgot that she was half Klingon. So it's like when she started like using all that Klingon dialogue with him, like like all of the lore of the Klingons, like
He's a drill
with him,
sergeant.
I'm
man.
like, I was like, oh yeah, like this is the stuff I want to see. I want to know what the Klingon Empire is up to.
Put your bag on his back.
Yeah,
That was a
Right?
great moment.
there were so many great moments like that. Yes.
I'll tell you what made
Do
me
not
laugh
kill
a
your
lot
instructor on the first day. Do not kill your
was,
instructor on the first day.
was the fact that Earth's sort of like military was working alongside Starfleet, and you saw their leader, their captain, and all he kept doing was facial expressions, like all the fucking time. Not one word came out of his mouth, just facial expressions. Like Beaker from fucking
That's a good tangent
the
to go
Muppets.
on. The War Academy.
Yeah, the War College.
It's right next door, and Starfleet Academy was shut for 100 years.
Listen,
or something.
because okay, so in Discovery, Earth had its own like
Earth
defense
left.
force when it was not a part of the Federation. It wasn't called the War College or whatever, but I've always, when Enterprise introduced the Makos, I was always a fan of that. I always thought that there needed to be no, not ice, a more militaristic branch of Starfleet that kind of leaned a little bit more towards like ground defense. Like, yes, I know you can say, oh, Starfleet officers are trained and all that, but like you kind of need, like, everybody has their specialty, and you've got
we've got
security
Section
officers.
31 now, so
Well, Starfleet's the
makes sense.
Navy. You still have to have the Marines.
I agree, and that's what I loved about the Makos.
Marines. Yeah.
So I'm kind of glad
Some army.
I'm kind of glad they didn't call them the Makos, only because it's a direct callback to Enterprise, but at the same time, it's been over 1,000 years since the Makos, so I'm like, giving them a new name is probably a good thing,
The little thing that irked me was the War College is right next door, and Starfleet Academy's campus has just sat vacant for 100 years. No, like it wouldn't. Places don't just sit vacant like that.
Yeah, when I saw the overhead shot, like I thought it was like it looked like like after Six Flags closed down or Geauga Lake had closed down for like 5 years.
Right.
They put a Spirit
Rolling acres
Halloween in it every October, donkey. That's what they do with Starfleet Academy.
No, we need to meme that. No.
We have to be the first.
Starfleet Academy with the Spirit Halloween logo across it.
It's very very possible that it was used as a school, as a college. I mean, just because Earth left the Federation doesn't mean that they stopped educating people.
It's true.
Like a museum, maybe, like a museum to Starfleet.
It could. I mean, in the future, maybe they have a Department of Education again, but they have schools. They have elementary schools. Zephram Cochrane High, where Geordi graduated, and they have universities and colleges.
Kent State University was mentioned.
Yeah. So it's not Starfleet or bust, and so I'm sure that they turned it into a college campus.
So it became like a future ITT Tech Institute, and then it went out of business. And so Starfleet just moved right back in seamlessly.
No, don't say that, because I went to ITT Tech.
Oh no! I grew up just watching the commercials, and then they went out of business by the time I got to
Starfleet Academy.
As a former student there, when I was there, I could tell you, I could see, as someone who was very good in IT and could scope out posers, I felt like, wait, this school is ripping people off because there's all kinds of people in here that should not be here that I graduated with that had no idea how to even use a computer. So the writing was on the wall. I could see why ITT got, yeah.
I feel like that's going to be the war college.
I want to get to this comment. They reminded me of something in this episode. Starfleet Academy HR department going where no one should have gone. And why this comment reminds me of something that happened in this episode is that there was one moment where some of our boys were getting into a little bit of a bit of argy-bargy, as we say in the United Kingdom. And then here comes the doctor feeling those testosterone levels rising, and he's able to nip it in the bud straight away. Like, are we not going to get any conflict? He's like, okay, oh no, I thought you guys are getting heated. Stop it. Like every minute. Like, I mean, imagine if a couple of people are about to get it on, and the doctor just walks in on them. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ.
Sam, are you saying the
ultimate cock block? Yeah.
The doctor, the ultimate blocker.
Speaking of the medical tricorder reference.
Tricorder.
Yeah, I caught that.
Medical tricorder.
Medical tricorder.
I'm surprised Tom Paris didn't pop out of like a conduit,
so
and he was just like,
fangirl.
replicate me 10 medical tricorders, extra acetaminophen.
I am very, very, very happy that they got Robert Picardo back, because when I was talking before about getting star power like Paul Giamatti and Holly Hunter, I don't think tell me if I missed it, but they haven't yet explained. Well, okay, hold on. I'm about to answer my own question. So, if I were to go off my own theory that this is the first Contact universe, that doesn't mean that this doctor is the doctor from Voyager.
He is. He mentioned that he aged himself as well.
Yeah, he added an age subroutine.
Well, okay.
That doctor could still be on Voyager, is what he's saying.
Right. What I'm saying is I'm not saying that there couldn't have been another, Voyager doctor, all that stuff. It's just that if I were to say, hey, Big J, own it, own your first Contact universe. So is this doctor the same one from Voyager, the TV show? And I'm going to say no.
Oh, no, you sounded like Jake, our good friend Jake.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that until or unless there's an episode where this doctor destroys my entire theory and explanation of First Contact universe, which is great, I think. Unless they go and do that.
The First Contact universe doesn't mean that Voyager did not get stuck in the Delta Quadrant.
Correct.
And did not get home. So,
but the Voyager getting stuck in the Delta Quadrant isn't what created the Doctor. The Doctor was already a thing in Starfleet.
But getting left on all that time is how he became.
Yeah, he became an entity. He became an actual entity.
Well, the same, he can exist in both places. And it's almost like a transporter clone in a sense.
Look,
but
as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to go the opposite of Jefferson. Until I'm told otherwise, he is the Doctor from Voyager. That's how I'm going to look at it.
Yeah, until there's something that contradicts.
Well, he still had the experience of Voyager, whether it's in the main timeline or
they mentioned Voyager briefly in the.
They also mentioned Dal and
Gwendolyn.
Murph. Oh, Gwendolyn. Okay.
No, I'm sure you mentioned Janeway.
I don't actually know if he's mentioned Janeway yet. He did. They did.
Mention Voyager,
mention Dal
the Delta Quadrant, and the Prodigy.
Yeah, they did mention.
That's the whole point of him being there, because he's. This is the second. By the way, this is the second Voyager character to be in a crossover, and so to put him in there is obviously the fan service and a familiar face to carry this show and all of that. So until
but he feels like he has a purpose of being there. He's not just useless cameo of old Trekkies.
No, he's not a cameo. He's the main character.
No, but but that's what I mean. Like, he doesn't have like a cameo an episode. He actually has something to do.
Oh, yeah, purpose. Yeah, for sure.
It's going
He's
to be
going
a
to be the
lot
mentor
better.
of the clip.
Oh, sorry, go ahead. It's going to be a lot better doing it that way than relying on, the comedian Tig Notaro, and she's in like 2 episodes a season of Discovery. Like
Mhm.
you hyped up this person, this actor, this comedian to play this character, but yet like a couple appearances. Oh, whereas with the Doctor, he is a main character integrated into the story.
A legacy
Yeah.
Got to see Charles
character that
Vance as
beloved.
well.
Also, I think I jotted down when he gave his command code. The first part of it was Delta.
Delta
No,
Quadrant. Yeah.
Tilly. No, so far Tilly's not been seen yet.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up Tilly in a little bit. Yeah, Tilly has not been
We
seen
need to
yet.
slow walk all
And
of
I
these
don't want to.
legacy things.
Well, and I agree with Donkey. Like, I don't think we need everything in the first. Like that Donkey was saying about the cramming so much in the first 2 episodes, and it's like, yeah, I think they kind of need to brisk the pace up a little bit. Like not brisk, but like
Well,
rein it in a little bit.
It's going to be 10 episodes probably,
Well,
so they need to
actually,
do this because that's how it is now. But
regarding episode 2, that was for me like a classic Star Trek episode. It was about diplomacy and making an alliance and stuff like that. It was what you expect from Star Trek. It was obviously done a little bit different, and we never really seen the Betazoids that much, or realize that they were so necessarily required like they were in this episode.
Well, I mean, you
But,
see the Betazoids in every episode of TNG, and in a couple
you
episodes.
see one beta, and
Voyager.
you see, it's funny. Like everyone who's on TNG, every alien on TNG has to be half the alien. So anyone on the Enterprise, you can't be the full alien. You have to be half. And
Worf was full Klingon.
okay, I'm just talking about
Voice was
Spock
half,
and
so was
Torres.
Spock in the original.
So not Torres,
Data was full
Deanna Troy,
android.
and
And
Deanna
B'Elanna.
Troy being half a Betazoid. Yeah.
Each show has one half race.
Yeah, I mean, okay, that, yeah. I mean, each show has one half.
Which this one does too. What was it?
The Jem'Hadar lady, but
Yeah,
and by the way, people were complaining about her being
I
a female
know
Jem'Hadar. They
that.
were going crazy about that, but
Don't
obviously
get me
immediately
started on that.
debunked.
It's been almost
She's
1,000
half
years.
Klingon.
Like the race evolved after the Dominion War, or the Dominion collapsed, or whatever happened with the Dominion. Like the Jem'Hadar became their own thing, their own entity. They weren't just servants of the founders anymore.
Right.
So, and I hope we get an episode dedicated to that, like going through the history and like finding out what happened to the Jem'Hadar. I want to know these things. I do agree with Zam. Like this was definitely a good Trek episode. Episode 2, it was through a different lens. I mean, obviously this is where we really get like the Star Trek 90210, feel, but like it wasn't necessarily bad. I think they gave it to us a little too much, but at the same time, I didn't necessarily feel like it was bad. I would have.
How do you feel? Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to ask, how do we feel about the level of jokes in this episode? I feel like this episode was really joke heavy.
I didn't remember
Well,
a lot of jokes.
I would say more humorous than joke
Felt
heavy.
good.
Okay.
It was more subtle. It was more subtle than like Strange New Worlds has been.
Yeah, Strange New Worlds was very hand-fisty with some of their jokes. This one
We're
did
not
not
talking-
feel like it was that.
We are dealing with youngsters, kids, and stuff like that. So they are playing that teen drama and stuff, which I don't mind. I mean, to a degree,
As long as it doesn't become like
it's kind of
the
got to be
central
like that.
focus.
As long as it
Yeah.
doesn't become a CW show.
Yeah, as long as it doesn't become a CW show, that's that's all
Oh,
I
that's a
want.
possibility. I don't know.
No, because CW shows are like 24 episodes a season. We've only got 10, so there's no time for it.
If only.
That's why they're cramming everything in.
I'm going to give the writing staff benefit of the doubt to say that they probably went in with their motivation every day of saying, don't make it a CW show, don't make it a CW show. And I really think that's probably the smart thing, because you're right. This could go south quickly. It can turn into Starfleet 90210. And I think they Star Trek Saved by the Bell. And I think they know that. I think all the writers wake up every day knowing that if we're not careful, we could really slide into that realm. So I think that they have already shown that they are cognizant of people thinking that from day one with Starfleet Academy being announced. If it were me, I would have that motivation of, okay, I'm writing on Starfleet Academy. Everybody out the gate expects it to be 90210 and Saved by the Bell. So
Hmm.
I'm going to do my damnedest to make sure that that doesn't happen.
I'm
They
very
should.
like torn on all of this though because it is about young people and stuff like that.
And
And
young people are horny.
you know, yeah, yeah, you can see Caleb was
Okay,
eyeing up
Dad.
all the competition, man.
I'm just
You know what I
saying.
mean? And so, but I'm just like for me, I want this to be a different show. This is nothing to do with being on a starship. You know, none of that. It's a whole different vibe. You know, this is about like this is the early stages. This is like the prequel of prequels almost. Like this is the very beginning right here. You know, and I want the vibe to be different for that reason alone. And I, I still don't know what I want from the show. I hope the show gives me what I want from it and makes me makes me appreciate what it delivers. But I just don't want it to be like everything we've already seen before. It needs to be different.
I want to see a new version of the Kobayashi Maru.
I have a quick idea for how they can stick it to the haters. They need to do a Lower Decks short turning their Starfleet Academy at the time into Riverdale, Saved by the Bell.
By the way, they
Just to-
hated Lower Decks as well because it was a cartoon and it was supposed to be funny and it had a female character who was black and the main male character was a doofus in Boimler, and that pissed
I
off
mean, that's
everyone.
basically
And he's
all
white as
That's
well.
why it's one of my
white
favorite
dudes
ones.
anyway. We're all just doofuses. So, I mean.
Look at me and Cheeto.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, don't look too hard. You get
You'll hurt your eyes.
right.
Fine,
You
I'm
won't.
fine
You
now.
won't need eyes for where we're going.
By the way, I can't believe that it's the 60th anniversary of Star Trek. That's just
Mhm.
amazing alone.
Mhm.
And next year will be the 50th anniversary of Star Wars. It's just crazy where we are now. You know how far
Wow.
we've got
I
with all
know.
of this.
What else are they going to
That-
do for the 60th?
That's your reminder, folks, that it is time for our ibuprofen.
Yeah. Right.
Ibuprofen PM.
Yeah, because it's like 8:50 when we're recording or when we're streaming this. So yeah, it's about our old folks' bedtimes. And and
Yeah,
Zam,
it's almost
over
2 o'clock in the
Zam, it's like
morning.
almost 2 a.m.
Oh, well, real quick, going back to episode 2, the president of Betazoid, or Beta Z, erected a space wall.
Hmm.
I
for
don't
social
understand that.
security.
I must have missed something. So like, did they
Psychic wall.
did they erect
psionic
it
wall.
around like a area of space or just around their
Mhm.
planet?
Yeah, because that little asteroid that Caleb
Their
was
solar
looking for
system.
was around the whole solar
But
Their
they
whole
were
system.
talking
system.
about multiple
A
races
wall
being
around the
behind that
solar
wall.
system. Jesus Christ.
What?
And the Federation will pay for it.
I got the impression that what they
You broke Zam,
Up.
donkey.
was
You're
Okay.
breaking up, Jefferson. Start over. Sorry.
okay. I was going to say the impression that I got was that it wasn't just the planet, but it was no bigger than their solar system.
Okay, but they made it sound like there was a lot behind that psionic wall. That's why I'm
They
like,
did.
yeah, like I'm like, because like
Well-
remember when they did like the Beta Z like or the Beta Z archives or what the astrometrics
Map.
or whatever. It just
Yes.
it made it seem like there were several star systems in that, and I'm like, so is like the Beta Z like do they have their own
Well-
territory now?
Or there's probably colonies of Beta Z where there's more Betazoids to support. It was giving me like the spell they used in the last Potter film.
In the last what film?
Obliviate?
No, the shield where there's a bunch of wizards there
Oh,
Yes.
protecting the shield. Yeah. So there's a lot of Betazoids spread around their solar system probably that are, doing their Professor X to raise the shield. What?
I think
Professor
Zam's still
X.
laughing about the Federation's
Is-
going to pay for the psionic wall.
Yeah, I just found all
Really,
of
it
that.
should be the Ferengi paying for it because they're the ones that have money.
I found all this fucking sign language bollocks. Like, mate, you can talk. Take that shit off your fucking throat and fucking talk.
Actually, well,
They're
Beta-
still trying to be representational. They had someone in a wheelchair.
Yeah, they did. I saw
They-
that.
They
He
had a
prefers to
They
speak.
had a Muslim one as well. That was great. You see the Muslim
The
one?
president
You
preferred
missed
to
it.
speak with sign language, and he had a little thingy that did it.
Well, and also on Beta Z, on their homeworld,
Yeah.
it's established in TNG that, and again, I know it's been hundreds and hundreds of years, but like they even said, like Luoxana said in one of the first episodes she was in, that they prefer to talk with telepathy between Beta Zs. You know what I mean? They don't talk a lot. They use their telepathy more than their so. I'm surprised they didn't lean into the telepathy a little bit more between the Beta Zs, and then using the sign language then with with them. But
Oh, the Betazoid princess with the neck device. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
well, she's going to be the
Yeah,
Burn 2.0. I mean,
Tamara.
that's
She'll
she's
be
like, I convert a lot of
No,
people.
she's gonna be what's the name of that film? Carrie. Is it Carrie?
She'll be the Victor from Umbrella Academy.
I mean, she like the thing falls off and then she goes ape shit and starts fucking popping people's head like scanners.
I'm not afraid.
Daniel Vance went where my mind went. River Tam.
The River Tam or something. What the hell fucking River Tam?
From Firefly.
Oh, from Firefly.
Firefly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. My fiance and I just started watching that today.
Well, you could finish it
Fucking
in a
River
day. I mean, it
Tam.
only got 14 episodes or 13 episodes in a movie.
Cheeto, stop it. Don't mess with
I'm
my
going to
feelings
embarrass
like that.
myself here by
It
saying
already hurts. One season.
I've heard more of Nathan Fillion's voice from Big Mouth than because I haven't seen any of Firefly.
You know what I started watching
This
today?
last season, they brought him in as a character.
I started watching The Blacklist. I watched 2 episodes today.
Good show.
Yeah, 10
also-
seasons, baby. That shit's gonna be keep me more occupied than Palestine.
Speaking of voices, everybody catch Stephen Colbert as the digital dean of Starfleet
No.
Academy.
No, I totally missed that.
Really?
Yeah, he's the digital dean. He like whenever you hear somebody coming over the PA, it's Stephen Colbert. He said something about it on his show several months ago, but I mean,
I
like
knew he was
That's
cameoing
cool.
something, but I thought
No,
he was
he-
going to physically be there.
no, he's not physically there. He's the digital dean. So like every time you hear an overhead page or something, it's Stephen Colbert's voice.
Oh, he's basically like a PA announcer. Anyway, welcome Chloe, 32.
Yeah.
It isn't a Star Trek for me. It's 2 Star Trek 9021, but to a degree, it was always going to have those elements to it. But it is about younger people. It's about the cadets, so it's going to have that teen drama element to it.
So sorry
it's
it
still got-
impacts the vibe check for you.
But it's still got pillars of adult actors, like Paul Giamatti, like Holly Hunter, like Robert Picardo, as well as some of the other supporting cast, like Tig Notaro, all of these other characters in there who
Admiral.
will remind you what Star Trek once was and what it can be and all of that, and give you some of the adult
here's the thing.
perspective as well.
I don't want it to be traditional like Star Trek because this is Starfleet Academy.
We've had
Like
that.
I want
agree.
elements. I want elements of Star Trek in it, but this is something completely new. This isn't like we're going like, and I know that the technically the school's a ship, but it's like it's almost like Hogwarts in Star Trek. Like there should be
They fly
these
around. It's
experiments-
like Garden.
huh?
It's like Garden. They fly
Yeah,
around.
Garden Battle. Yeah, like in Final
Battle in
Fantasy
Garden.
VIII. Like it
But-
should be all this experimentation and this learning of things that we kind of already know, but like they get to learn it for the first time, and we might even get an expansion of
But-
lore on it.
Think about it too. This is them coming in as freshman cadets, and then the next season they're probably going to advance a year and another year. So eventually we're going to see graduates. Hopefully, if it lasts.
Usually,
at least
Starfleet
5
Academy, I
seasons.
think, is 3 years, right?
4.
Is it
It's
4?
4.
It's
So maybe we get a fifth season where it's like what we're anticipating with the end of Strange New Worlds, where we're seeing the young people placed in the show and they're growing up, and then they're going to take over eventually, or they're going to get their own ship.
I think hopefully, if this series is successful, it will end with them finally graduating and then leaving Starfleet, and then maybe all of them individually going on to different places.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll be really cool if they could all stay together and end up being on the same starship. But I doubt that's going to happen. And that's not real life unless they want it to be.
I'm imagining it's going to be kind of like how in Strange New Worlds we've got most of the main crew on the Enterprise, and then you got Kirk floating around there on the Farragut every once in a while.
Yes, you can
Like,
do it.
They can continue. They can make another spin-off. This is a spin-off of Discovery. Then we'll have a spin-off of
Well, and so
Academy.
here's my thing. I was actually going to bring this up, and I know we're hitting the hour mark, but here's what I was going to ask. Do we want to have it a rotating cast? Like after these guys graduate, do we want to have as these years go on, do we want to introduce new cadets every year and then continue watching them? Or do we just want to follow this cast and then Starfleet Academy then goes into something else? And it's like Days of Our Lives, where you're on like 3 different ships with different stories with all these with these different characters, like 2 go here, 2 go here, 2 go here. And then you got expanded cast there, and it's like Days of Our Lives, but Star Trek, where it's like it hops between these 3 different ships, But it's
I'm not sure if I necessarily want that either. But I would like to see obviously this particular class graduate, and then I think we're done with Starfleet Academy. Like we've ridden this ride, and they need to come up with a new concept. But like I said, I would love to see a lot of these characters back in the future when they become a bit more grayer, as commanders, as captains, as doctors, chief medical officer, all of these things, and somehow come up with a concept where you can get these guys together. Like maybe there's a like a class of 99 type shit, and they all end up together for a little while, but then some sort of emergency happens and they all work together. I don't know, something along those lines, like a reunion, episode or film, either in 20 years time, something along those lines. I would love, like I said, I would love to see these guys as young adult actors grow up with Star Trek over the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, as long as we can still remain on this planet, watching these guys, develop. It'd be great. It'd be like watching our kids grow up. It'd be fantastic.
I would like to see something along the lines of how Doctor Who does it, where we've got the main cast, the main character, the Doctor of the season or era, and then eventually these kids, like you're saying, Zan, they move on, but the foundation of the show stays there. All the elements, a lot of the the Doctor or the Admiral, the what's she called, the
Chancellor.
The Chancellor of Starfleet Academy sticks around, but new people eventually come in, but we still then go have interactions, run-ins with this original cast.
I agree. I mean, if this show does it well, I would like that. I would like to see I would like to see it as a rotating cast. Like after 4 years, you were right, Jefferson. I looked it up, by the way. For some reason, I had 3 years stuck in my brain, and I don't know why.
But because Kirk said that in Star Trek in the Kelvin universe about the Academy when he was joining up, he told Pike, 4 years? I'll do it in 3.
Okay, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like let's get to 4 years. We have kind of like these, we have new kids coming in, throughout the seasons. I don't want a soft reset after 4 years. I would like to have the cast kind of rotate in, and even if you and I know you shouldn't have to kill people, but like if someone gets killed along the way, or if somebody transfers out and goes and leaves Starfleet, not everybody graduates
from murder.
Murder, yes.
The Betazoid brothers, he could be in the chopping block. Chloe 32 says they only shot 2 seasons. We hope to see the second season. The contract ends on July 31st with the secret hideout. But yeah, I mean, they've only, regarding the second season, I mean, we've just begun the first. They will greenlight a second. I mean,
they
can't be given a third. Yeah, the greenlight the second. The depends on how how well the second one does. So
Depends on if they put a
yeah,
musical episode in it.
and by the looks of things, that it's only going to be 5 seasons anyway. I mean, that's a sort of way they're
Lifespan of
operating at
shows
this moment in time. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, Mage, do you have
that's a
any?
bit.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was gonna say, just Mage. Would you have any other notes that we can add? I mean, we should probably start wrapping up.
No, I think we're good to do some final thoughts. Maybe if anybody has
Oh,
any
I
remarks, do we want to?
briefly about
Of course,
episode
Sam.
2. If you don't mind, like, what's her face? The Betazoid girl, who
Tamara.
Caleb is definitely smitten with. She ends up joining the military outfit, I believe, which came out left field. I don't know why
I
she's
honestly
doing
thought she
that.
would join Starfleet, but I thought she would, or I thought she would join Starfleet and like do the typical "I'm going to be a counselor" role, which I actually like that they subverted that. I like that they subverted the fact that now she's in the military college.
She maybe doesn't want to go to the same place that her crush is going.
Another thing as well is like that guy who's a bit of an asshole. The one with the English accent, who ends up being Caleb's roommate.
You mean Zamir?
The Coyote.
Yeah. But
Okay.
I just thought, look, I like the idea of Caleb and this guy end up being bros and being friends, but I just think him helping him making his bed by the end of the second episode was them two getting along a bit too soon. Like maybe a bit more friction between the two of them, and maybe have that your standard isolation stranded episode at some point where it's just them two together, where they end up bonding. You know what I mean?
I'm kind of, I don't know. I'm kind of over that.
Caleb's actions with what's her name? The princess, the Betazoid princess.
Princess Peach.
Is she a princess? Anyway,
well,
the president's daughter, I suppose, can have gone unnoticed, or even if only a certain group knew while the negotiations were going on, everybody found out. So he's probably like, "Oh, he's cool now," whatever.
He was really trying to get it on with her with the whales. There'd be whales here.
The
princess.
whales. That's what I was going to mention as a final thought. We have 2 whales in that observatory area, and one of them's pregnant. Are those the same whales? Or
I'm always bugged that like you can't just have like
clones?
bring back George and Gracie, and then somehow those 2 whales end up starting a whole new population. Like some serious whale inbreeding right there. Like.
I mean,
inbreeding, I don't think is that uncommon in the animal kingdom.
Yeah, my cat's
whales but whales themselves, they're not like, for instance, like crabs where they'll lay 100 thousands of eggs. Like a whale will push out one whale. Like how, like it doesn't like push out several whales.
They did some sciencey stuff, and now there's a new Grayson Frank.
A whole bunch of clones, yeah.
Or that's the show. The George and Gracie? I don't know.
Well, that giant paperweight won't be bothering them anytime soon.
But I was happy to see whales.
Yeah.
Eugenics is probably only limited to sentient beings, not whales. So they were able to probably clone them, and I don't know.
We don't want to have to hear from that whale probe again.
Yeah, they were like, "No, we're not. Nah, you two.
Not dealing with that again."
I mean, and who's to say George and Gracie didn't have several kids? And yeah, I mean, listen, look at Adam and Eve, and then from all their kids, I mean, there was inbreeding there. So
no, but there was obviously a contradiction there, because
don't bring up my namesake.
One of them went for a walk and they ended up in this village somewhere. Like, where the fuck did this village come from? Where all these other people come from? It was only supposed to be Adam and Eve and Cain and Abel, but there you go. That's why I'm not religious.
All right, Major Rage. Anyone else? Well,
Do we want to rate these?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. We'll start with Cheeto. Marks for.
Shit. I wasn't even really thinking about marks. Start with Jefferson. Go counterclockwise because you went clockwise.
We'll go anti-clockwise.
Yeah. I'm going to give both episodes a 9.
Okay.
I think we had a solid out the gate with this show. I do feel like it went in with writers that knew they had some pressure to not have this turn into Friday Night Lights or 902, whatever it may be. I do think that they know that that's the pressure on them. I don't believe. I think that this show ends either just before or during graduation or whatnot. This is not a show that's going longer than 4 or 5 seasons. It's going to be the same cast. It's not going to be every 4 years we have new people, because once you get to about third, fourth-ish season, uh, they already probably can barely afford Holly Hunter and Paul Giamatti. They're going to be more expensive then. All the actors on the show now are going to be more expensive then. So no, this is not a more than 4 or 5 season show. Whether it's every season is a year in school or uh, 2 seasons equals 1 semester, who the hell knows? But it's not going to be a rotating cast. But yeah, I give a solid start to this show.
Okay, Lord Donkey.
I give it a 90210.
Nah.
No, I was thinking somewhere up around 8, 9, not a 10. It's harder to get a 10 out of me, I think, because of you guys. But I went into this with no expectations, no like, and there's not much that I didn't enjoy. Just real little nitpicky stuff that I can just forget because it's the beginning, the first episode, second episode. So I think a 9 is a good place to sit.
Hey, Zam.
And when I give my marks, I don't want you to think that I didn't enjoy this show as much as you two who already given your marks. But regardless, I think this mark is valid because it's still early days. I give both these episodes a 7, and
it's pretty good. I
did think, but these were good solid starts. I did drift a little bit here and there. My attention waned. I couldn't always give it 100% of my focus, which is a little bit detrimental towards those episodes. But regardless, it's a solid start. And I do think this show will improve as we get to know our characters, and we follow their arcs. And that might not be this season; it'll probably be next or the season after. But I fingers crossed that the best is yet to come.
Hopefully optimistic. Cheeto?
Episode 1, I'm going to give a 7 just because of like a lot of the coincidental like tropiness and stuff like that. And again, like given it, like the whole like it was just this Caleb's arc is just over dramatized, and we already know how it's going to pan out.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of that's kind of a knock against it. Episode 2, I'm going to give an 8 because I think they actually started to kind of. Even though they had kind of the teen drama stuff in it, which, as I said, I don't think they were horribly over with that, but they also included the Trek stuff, the diplomacy, all that other stuff in there. So I'm like, I really think that I think it was Jefferson who said that, they kind of know what they have and they're kind of leaning into that. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, there's going to be 90210 elements in it, but at the same time, I didn't go into this not expecting that, at least a little bit, just because it is based on young adults. Like Zam was saying, it's like there's going to be those elements, and that's why I'm like, Trek is always like Trek is a broad scheme. You just have to look at whatever lens you're looking at Trek through. So we're looking at it through like Starfleet cadets that are quasi horny most of the time. So, I mean, that's just what you're getting. And like, that's the lens of Star Trek you're getting. If you don't like it, then go back and
have to watch it.
Yeah. Go back and watch Deep Space Nine through the Depressy lens, which by the way, DS9. Okay.
Don't watch a show called Starfleet Academy and then act surprised when you see young people in it, and then be extra surprised when maybe they might be attracted to each other. Like, come on, people. It's Starfleet Academy. It's not 20, 30 something year old people. It's like, okay, yeah, I want to have a show that's obviously has to be about young people, but I want them to act like full-fledged adults. I don't want any flirting. I don't want any kissing or any innuendo. Come on, people. Like, give it a rest, would you?
Yeah, I agree. All right.
Okay.
Very fast paced.
And the poll's up if anyone
You
is
want to give yourself
going in
late?
there. The poll's up in the thing. So
I'm
anyone
gonna
out
give
there
the-
in YouTube land in the comments, if you want to give us your thoughts overall of episode 1 and 2 on the poll, please do.
You guys
Please
get comments,
Your thoughts, not your prayers.
right?
9 on the pilot for me and 8 on the second episode for me. And so that's been our review of Starfleet Academy Season 1, Episodes 1 and 2. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. We've appreciated having your support. Thank you so much to my co-hosts, Cousin Cheeto, Zam, Lord Donkey, and Jefferson. Appreciate you guys being here.
Yep.
What do we have coming down the line for NerdTube? I know we're doing Monday Night Raw reviews now.
We're
What
trying to
else
do
do we
some-
have on the docket?
Friday Night SmackDown
Yeah,
as
so
well.
we're trying to do Friday. We're trying to do the reviews. I mean, as best as we can with Raw and SmackDown. We're trying to lean into our kind of our wrestling roots a little bit, because we still have a lot of people in our group with wrestling. Obviously, we're going to be doing the weekly Star Trek reviews and stuff like that. Zam will probably watch some other bullshit that he's going to review for the channel. So
Of
It's
course.
gangster stuff.
Zam
We
is a
gotta have Zam
workaholic.
Gangster stuff.
It's
Sam's
going to
a
be something
workaholic.
that I would like to review for the channel at some particular point, and for sure, the Royal Rumble. I mean, it's a bit early to say this now, but we're already halfway through January, which is amazing. The Royal Rumble, which will be the last the 31st of January, we will definitely be doing a live watch along for that.
Okay.
So keep your eyes peeled.
So if you like sports entertainment, definitely subscribe to NerdTube. Definitely worth sticking around here for that sort of content and for Star
I
Trek
got
content.
food reviews as well.
Oh, snap. That's right.
Food reviews as well.
Yep. Lots of different stuff
they're
here.
coming out soon.
So make sure you like this video, share it to your friends, subscribe to NerdTube because you've been watching NerdTube. It's the best channel that you maybe sort of kind of ever heard of. Live long and